It's a chaplain of the culture, Yale MDiv, and Black Church Studies scholar. Here we mix faith, culture, experience, and we make that whole dance. Listen, y'all, I'm gonna be honest. This presidential election, it threw me for a loop. It looped me around. Now I'm back. 360, baby. Yeah, I was disappointed. Not gonna lie. Not going yay. I was disappointed. But here we are, and we need to discuss a couple things, okay? Starting with the most recent, right? Trump. Get out of Obama's face. The way Trump is in Obama's face and the way he loves to discuss the Obama economy and the Obama administration and try to dismantle everything that this man did just to be in his face at Jimmy Carter's funeral. Nah, President Jimmy Carter, let me be respectful. President Jimmy Carter's funeral, I don't like it. All in this man's face. And it's just because he fetishizes black people. And particularly black and successful people. I can give you more examples of that, but let me know. I don't know how interested y'all are in how colonizers had fetishized black people and exemplified in like chattel slavery into just how they won't leave us alone even now into today. So yeah, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. Let's get into it, because so many people online who voted for Trump claims that they voted for him because they are concerned with the economy. The people have spoken. They want Trump, but I think they're a bunch of liars, and this is why. Listen to the first couple of statements.
That the only genders recognized by the United States government are male and female, and they are assigned at birth. Under my leadership, this madness will end. Thank you very much.
This was November 8th. Trump won the election November 5th. It's 3 days later. And he isn't talking about the economy. He isn't talking about anything that would make our lives better. He is talking about gender, not the economy. Now, November 19th, Trump is tweeting seemingly to confirm mass deportation using military enforcement. Elon Musk, our new first lady, shout out to Elon, is advocating for countries to teach fearing childlessness instead of fearing pregnancies. And I just want to pause here to say I understand that Musk has 11,000 children, but he is still a billionaire. So maybe that's the reason for his tone deafness, but it's the instability of the economy. That is why the birth rates have dropped. Nobody is teaching fear of pregnancy. Like, where are they teaching that at? And if they were teaching fear of pregnancy, it was in math class. Because if Johnny has 3 apples and he has 2 children and a wife and they all need an apple apiece to survive, what does Johnny leave with? Answer, a tombstone. Johnny had a heart attack from all the stress. But the reason I think y'all are lying is because Trump recently went on an interview and was questioned.
How do you make sure that consumers don't wind up paying more? Will you punish CEOs who try to pass the cost of tariffs on to their customers?
Well, the market's going to take care of it. I mean, actually, the market takes care of it. And if it doesn't, we adjust it somewhat.
Trump even said in his campaign that he would bring the prices of groceries down. And now he is saying that he may not be able to do that. Trump never made a convincing argument to be able to stabilize the economy in any way. And he is still not pretending to do so. So please miss me with this lie. People are saying that a big percentage of Kamala Harris's voter base didn't want the war. And she didn't take a strong enough position to distance herself from the Biden administration and say the things that she was going to do differently. People didn't necessarily love what was going on in the Biden administration as far as inflation, as far as different wars, not only the Hamas-Israel conflict, but also the war in Ukraine, right? And people are saying that she didn't take a strong enough stance to distance herself from that. And all of that is horse. Trump was able to win over Harris because more of the voters were interested in the oppression of others than their own liberation. That's why he won. Because he ran on the oppression of others. So, no, this was not about the economy. I'm really over this lie. It actually was about bathrooms, curriculum, mass deportation, DEI, and abortions. I think Zuckerberg just said, after spending all this time in Mar-a-Lago, that he was going to defund all his DEI programs. That's okay, because you know what? Facebook's time is done anyway. Many folks didn't vote in their best interest because they are socially invested in hierarchy. Stay with me. Many are more interested in the way in which they can perform social status than in the ways in which they can participate in a social, equitable, and equal economy. Also, as long as the hierarchical scale is skewed in your favor, you have no problem with the scale. It's when you're on the bottom that you have a problem with it. What are you talking about? You're talking about hierarchy. You're talking about oppression. I don't get it. Just stay with me. I'm going to call black folks in first, right? Because that's usually who I'm talking to primarily. I'm going to call us in today because there is no way we should want to exclude anyone from using the bathroom that they feel most comfortable in, given the doors that we had to take down in this country just so we could potty comfortably.
And I work like a dog day and night, living off of coffee from a pot none of you want to touch.
We know that many white women have shown a particular investment in power structure, even in the past. Not only with enslavement of individuals.
When I was in graduate school, I learned that white women didn't own property, were not allowed to own property. But in fact, the historian Stephanie Jones Rogers, in her recent book from 2019, They Were Her Property, documents through historical records how white women actually were slave owners. And part of what she documents from the narration of formerly enslaved people is that the white women who were slave owners were especially cruel.
The feminist movement, led by white women, was not only a petition to have their own bank accounts and financial assets, but so they would be able to own enslaved people like the men do. So y'all are a bunch of sad-ass liars. You don't care about the economy. You don't care about equality, equity, progress. You care about performing social privileges and maintaining the status quo. Boys are boys and girls are girls. This might as well be an episode of All in the Family. Those were the days. And girls are property. And black people don't deserve education or equal access to the job market. And Mexicans and Latin people, they need to leave. These narratives have been here since the establishment of this country. And this country is not interested in removing them. That's why Trump is president. So y'all can miss me with the phantom economic growth that the man actually never promised. But he shored up on them bathrooms and deportation and book bans and dismantling DEI and abortion bans. Talking to all of the different tech companies that he can. I've heard folks say, at least we know who we are dealing with. But we've always known that. The voters who voted for Trump have always known who they are, and they've never hid it. They have always operated within the social structure and never pushed back on the system. The question is now that all that is known is out there. Maybe it used to be like the elephant that nobody talked about, right? But now that it's like all out there, what are we gonna do? No, I'm generally asking, what are we gonna do? We go to the gym with these voters. They say hi to us in passing. How are we going to move forward considering our neighbors are more interested in the oppression of some over the liberation of all? That's all I got for y'all. It was a rant, but I had to get it out. I feel better too. It's the Chaplain of the Culture, here to expand ideas and grind your gears, but I promise you're going to have a good time. And I'll talk to you soon.